What's up everyone, Dom here once again for another video, but this time it's going to be a little different, and I just want to start a little series because it feels like most of you are asking me the same question over and over, and I felt like I should do videos about each and every cars from the franchise because there's a lot of people that want to know all I know about these cars. So I decided to make this video. So I decided to do a giveaway to you guys, and I think that if you are a fast fan or you just love cars in general, you're going to love this content. Let me just tell you what is the giveaway. So first off, it's going to be a one-off t-shirt. From the front it looks fairly normal, but in the back it's basically, the t-shirt is called Jesse's Prayer. So thanks God for providing us with the direct port nitrous injection, ball bearing turbos, 4-core intercooler, and titanium valve spring. So this is basically Jesse's Prayer shirt. The second of which is this little car. This car is not your average die cast that you can get at Walmart. This is a high quality resin car that was made by Peako model. This is a one-off, by the way. So you can get this car from the company like in green, yellow, and whatsoever, but the Fast and Furious orange and black team like this, it's super rare. So I'm going to give away this car. This is $150 plus value. In order to participate to this contest, it's super easy, okay guys? So I just need you to subscribe to this channel, leave a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my Instagram. And I'm going to, as soon as this video comes out, I want you to comment on my last post, the post about this video on my Instagram, and just tag one of your friends into the comment in order to participate to this contest. And as soon as I reach 10,000 subscribers, one of you guys is going to be selected to win this awesome prize. Now let's jump right in the subject. In this new series of videos that I'm going to be uploading to my channel, we're going to discuss about different cars from the Fast and the Furious. If you love these kinds of videos about movie cars, maybe I'll move further away from the Fast and the Furious and go on maybe other movies like Gone in 60 Seconds, Back to the Future, or even Ghostbuster at some point have some cool facts about cars. Without waiting, let's jump into this first car that I want to discuss with you, which is, you know, it's the car that represents me the most because, you know, I build that car. So the Fast and the Furious Eclipse, Brian O'Connor's car. And my goal today is to explain this car in less than 10 minutes. So I'm going to be quick. There's going to be a lot of information, a lot of pictures on the screen. So feel free to pause the video at any given time so that way you can read what's on the screen, the stats and everything. About the Fast and the Furious Eclipse, it's very simple. This car, like most of the Euro car, was a real car that existed before the Fast and the Furious. That car belonged to a good friend of mine called John Lapid. John bought the Eclipse. The car back then was probably 1 or 2 years old, and he decided to build a cool tuner car out of a Mitsubishi Eclipse. The car was a 95 Eclipse. It was black, and right off the bat he decided to put some wheels on the car, put some graphics, and the car was cool. The car was on par with what was done back in the day. And at some point later in the 90s, probably around 1998, he decided to really boost up that car and give it a more aggressive look. So right off the bat he decided to put a body kit on the car. But back then there was no knockoff brands about body kit. He decided right off the bat to use a body kit, a blitz kit from a Toyota Supra, and he adapted the body kit to the car. No, there was no RoboCar body kit. That kind of body kit was all because of the movie. He retrofitted the body kit of a Supra onto an Eclipse. He actually did all the work himself in his driveway, and the car turned out amazing. And by the way, right off the bat, the car was not green. He decided to go with a clk-gtr paint. The clk-gtr is a famous Le Mans Mercedes-Benz, and he took the same color code as that Mercedes clk-gtr and he painted the car silver. And to be honest, the car was looking way better than what you used to see in the Fast and the Furious with the green and the blue stripes on the side. The car was just perfect. And what about the roof scoop? There's a lot of people asking, why is there a roof scoop on the Eclipse from the Fast and the Furious? Again, it's all about the clk-gtr. That car had a roof scoop on it, and John thought it was cool. It was great looking. It was also very different, which is kind of true. It was different back then. There was not a lot of cars with roof scoop before Fast and the Furious. The Eclipse in the movie, you think that the car is like a 4G63 turbo, 4-wheel drive. No, it ain't. It's a 420A. The real car was almost stock, probably around 180 horsepower. There was a hotshot headers. There was an intake from engine. And there was a NOS system on the car, but nothing too crazy. Probably with a wet shot of NOS, probably around, I don't know, 200 horsepower for like 5 seconds. It was by no means a fast car, but it's a movie. It was intended to be fast. But underneath the car, there was a lot of go fast bit, like the exhaust that was an HKS Super Dragger. There was also the suspension by Tanabe Racing. And the car was a real go-kart, even with the big brake kit from AEM. What I remember from driving my Eclipse, that car was not that fast, but it was fun to drive. So of course in the Fast and the Furious, John's car was used in the movie as a reference to build other duplicate, because in the movie you need to know you need more example. You cannot just film a movie with one car. You need multiple cars of each different car you see in the movie. For example, in the case of the Eclipse, there was 7 cars used in the movie. 7 Eclipse, that's a lot of cars, but you cannot replicate the car to the extent of the modification, the engine modification, suspension, and everything on each and every car. So that's why you're going to see some cars at museum that are the actual real cars from the movie, but one of them is sitting super high, the other's got a stock suspension, and the other's got like it's slammed to the ground. It's because they are different car used for different application. In the movie, there was the first unit and the second unit. Second unit is mostly the guys that are filming the shot from the exterior, action sequences, stuff like that. Usually they use stunt cars for that, but that's why they use multiple cars. And to this day, I was able to locate 6 of the original 7 cars. The only one that is still missing to this day is the McRig Eclipse. Where it went, we don't know, but it's gone for now. The McRig Eclipse, that's the car that most of the action sequences filmed from the inside of the car that you see Paul Walker driving. That's the car they use. It's basically just an Eclipse shell on top of a Ford stretch truck, and there was a stunt driver driving the truck. The body of the car was on top of that truck, and that way it feels like the actors are actually driving the car, but in reality it's another thing. If you look closely into the movie, you can see a lot of differences between the cars. The Hero car, for example, there's a lot of stuff different from that car to all the other ones. So the Hero car, as you know, is John Lapid's car. That car was a fully built car. So in that case, there was the chromed out engine, the interior was fully done, and also the car was slammed to the, well, it was not slammed to the ground, but it was very, very low. Also, that car has a completely shaved body kit compared to the other one who had, they were not just rivet on, but they were kind of fitted to the car, but you can see different shapes into the body kits of the other cars. One of the most frequent questions I have on Instagram, people are always asking me, what's the cable underneath the Eclipse? So basically it's just a prop cable underneath the car, and the prop was used to make some spark from underneath the car, and they use Hero 2 for that matter. Since there's a lot of people now following me on Instagram that knows that they use multiple example of the Eclipse, there's a lot of people asking me, which Eclipse should I use in order to build the perfect replica? Because you cannot, at this point now, you cannot really build a perfect replica. It's just a matter of interpretation of which car is the best car from the movie. And in that case, could it be Euro 1? Yes, but could it be Euro 2? Because the Euro 2 is the car that you see the most in the movie. The body kit is a bit different. The gas cap is different on the car too. There's no perfect answer to what a perfect replica of the Eclipse is. If you really want to go for that perfect replica look, and we are speaking of replicas, so it doesn't matter if there's stuff that doesn't make sense, like having a turbo boost gauge inside the car, which is a 420A with no turbo. I mean, you want to go full screen accurate, I'd say just go with Euro 1 in terms of body kit, because this is how it's supposed to be when you have time, money to build a perfect car. Just keep in mind, Euro 2 and all the other stunt cars, they were built super quick in order to have them ready for the shoot. Euro 1 was more refined. So I'd say go with Euro 1 in terms of body kit. So you shave the body kit, everything looks great. In terms of the gas cap with the black door with that thing on top, I'd say go with Euro 2. So keep your gas door and stick a gas cap like this on the top of the door and call it a day. It will look like it was supposed to be in the movie. Before completing this video, I just want to share with you some honorable mention on some of the builders out there. There are some people that I knew before building a replica, and also people that I've met through the process of building a Fast and Furious Eclipse. Here's some people that I really appreciate in the replica business. There's John Ponytail, as you can see. There's Price Eep, who's got an amazing aired out Fast and Furious Eclipse. The car is running on air suspension, big turbo setup. The car is all-wheel drive also, so great car. And here's my friend Kevin Peacock, who lives in California with a Fast and Furious Eclipse. I'm super jealous of him, but anyway, great guy. And there's my fellow builders in Europe, Sasha and Christopher. They have amazing replicas of the Eclipse also. And all these guys, you know what? Some of them decided to go with Stunt 1. Some of them decided to go with the Euro car. Like I said, the only thing that really matters is the type of Eclipse you prefer the most. And you can even go all out, like Price, who did an amazing job with his car. It's not running a 420A, he's got a 4G63, but he's running a big turbo and all-wheel drive, so his car is actually fast. So like I told you at the beginning of the video, I located some of the cars, so if you really want to see some of the Fast and Furious Eclipse, the real ones, no replica, like the real deal, you can go, if you want to see the Euro 1 car, the car is at the Hollywood Starcar Museum in Tennessee. If you want to see the Euro 2 car, well, it's unfortunate, but the car is in a private collection in the Netherlands, but the car is often doing like car shows around Europe and stuff like that. So when there's an appearance of that car, you can actually see it. And matter of fact, the car was on display last week, so you can see right there. When it comes to Stunt 1 Eclipse, the car is at Rusty's Movie Car Museum in also in Tennessee. So here's the car. There's the Stunt 2 Eclipse, which is in private end right now, but looks a lot like the car at Rusty's Museum. So here's a picture of the car. And also there's the Buck car that completely disappeared of the map, but here's a picture also. I don't know the current location of that car, but still it's a great thing to see nowadays. As you can also see, the car after the movie had no body kit. That's actually the car you can see throwing flames in the movie. You can see because of the original bumper in the back. So the car, we don't know where it is right now. And last but not least, well, not really the last because we don't know about the MIC rig, but last but not least, there's also the exploded Eclipse that you can see in a museum in Las Vegas. You can see the car right there. So I'm going to provide all the link to see these cars, the museum and everything in the description down below. If you like that video, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It helps me a lot. And also, if you have some suggestion on which car you want to learn more about in the upcoming videos, please let me know in the comment down below. Guys, it was a pleasure as always. I really love to do these kinds of videos. I'm trying to keep them as small as possible, keep them under 10 minutes. We probably went over 10 minutes by now. But anyway, guys, it was a pleasure as always. My name is Dom, and don't forget to like that video, leave a comment. I love to read your comments, and I see you in the next one. Bye.